Welcome, everyone, to the MMA Happy Hour podcast. I am Kyle Anthony, your host for today. We are talking UFC 308, a stacked card headlined by Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. We're going to be breaking down 4 fights here on the show today and this weekend. I have a 5% max play up so far this year. We are a perfect 12-0 on max bets this year and absolutely killing it overall. Been absolutely dominating. Last weekend, licking my wounds off of last weekend, but we're still up over 80 units of profit, which is absolutely fantastic. And again, 5% max bet this year, max bet this weekend, this year, 12-0, ready for 13-0. If you want to become a client, link down in the description, have plays up. We'll be adding to that pack throughout the week and ready to rock and roll, So with that being said, definitely hit the like button and get involved. Comment down below. Always appreciate everybody liking, subscribing, and also commenting. Let me know your thoughts on these 4 plays. So with that being said, let's dive into the main event of the evening between Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. Now, you got right now a big favorite in Topuria, minus 260 on the comeback here. You've got Max Holloway plus 210. Now, this is an interesting fight, and I get why Topuria is a favorite. I get it. I absolutely get it. The guy has looked fantastic, has been dominating, coming off a big knockout victory over Alexander Volkanovski here. Now, the one thing here about the Volkanovski win that I do have a little bit of a problem with is the fact that Volkanovski, that was 4 fights for Volkanovski in a 12-month period, all 4 title fights. He was coming off of a head kick knockout loss against Islam Makhachev 3 months prior. So I do think that knockout was a little glorified due to just a weathered Volkanovski who was just looking for paychecks. I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he was just going out there and just not giving his best effort after that first fantastic fight that he had against Islam Makhachev. But, Volkanovski was outlanding him 47-35 up until he got sparked out. So I think that does say something about that. But the other part here is the fact that, Max is historically very durable overall over his career, only been finished 1 time, and that was 2011 against Dustin Poirier, which was a submission victory here. And I do think that the fact that Topuria really just likes to box or look for takedowns, but striking, it's boxing, it's pushing forward. He blitzes forward very well. He works the body very well. I mean, there are things that he does really fantastic overall, but I do like Max's footwork. I think the footwork, the volume, and the way that he's going to work some angles here, I think is going to help Max work at range, work at distance, and find a lot of success there because he does have that volume. And I think that's the way he can, he's got to really get through that first round. I think Topuria is going to come forward, but also, is Topuria going to last? If Topuria is really pushing that heavy pace, looking for that finish, does he be able to push throughout? You do have Max Holloway, who has shown to have that experience, 5-round experience, all of those things. And I do think that he can go out there and really find success utilizing the volume, utilizing that footwork. And the grappling side of things, you've got Max Holloway, 84% takedown defense rate. That's going to be tested, but I do think he's going to find success there. Breaking out of any kind of takedowns. I think, yeah, sure, he could take him down once or twice, but I think overall he's going to struggle taking Max down, and this becomes a glorified boxing match between these 2 guys, and I do think Max can find some success there. Now, if this was at even money, yes, Topuria is the guy here. I do think he's a deserving favorite, but when you're talking Max Holloway at plus 210, that's a spot for me where it starts to go that way. Obviously, the upside of a finish is on the Topuria side more than the Max side. But I think that I got to take the plus money here. I think Max Holloway plus 210 is the spot here. A little sprinkle there that we're going to be taking. And the next one here we're going to be talking about is the co-main event of the evening between Khamzat Chimaev and Robert Whittaker. Now, you got Chimaev minus 275. You got Robert Whittaker plus 215. Now, looking at this fight here, this is a grappler versus striker type of matchup here. But what really I look at the most in this fight is that first, half a round, because what you're going to get with Chimaev. He's all gas. He's going to come forward. He's going to bulldoze forward. He's going to look to bully you, take you down, submission hunt, ragdoll you, ground and pound you. And that first round is going to be dicey for Whittaker. There's no doubt he's going to push forward. He's going to look for those takedowns, and he's going to really look to put that damage on in that first round or get that finish. Now, This is a 5-rounder, and I really think that heavily, heavily favors Robert Whittaker in a spot where he's been these 5 rounds. He's fought very high-level competition overall, and having the 5 rounds really allows almost Whittaker to try to play it safe in that first round, not get killed in the first round, and know that, hey, Chimaev more than likely is grabbing this first round, and know that he can probably weather that storm and find success later, because we know Chimaev does have issues with cardio. The cardio concerns to me are very big when you're looking at it overall. That first round and a half, he looks great. And things can tilt down. It's not that he's just, has no energy at all, but all of the explosiveness is gone. All the things start to go away. And I think that, you just look at Chimaev, the way that he fights, his style forces him to be like that. If he's going to wrestle, dive at legs, throw you down, there's only so long you can do that. And also the fact that he is shown to have cardio issues. And now you've got Robert Whittaker with an 82% takedown defense rate, very good overall, 5-round experience, has shown to have good cardio. It is an absolute dog out there. And if he can get and survive the early rounds from Chimaev, I think he finds success. And you have to add in the health issues for Chimaev. 4 months ago, he was in hospital. There were pictures of him doing that, and not long, before that, there was other things where they were talking about him maybe not even coming back to the sport. That's not going to help your cardio at any means at this point overall. I do think that Chimaev does find success early, and I think that, the longer this goes, the better that Whittaker has. Whittaker, literally over the last 10 years, only lost to Adesanya and Dricus du Plessis, a former and current champion, while Chimaev has not faced that level anywhere near it. And even if you look at some of the recent fights here, you got, Burns was a very debatable fight, very close fight, but Burns really gave him a run for his money. Kevin Holland was a opponent change and a perfect matchup for Chimaev to just ragdoll him. And then even the Usman fight, Usman, yes, former champion, all those things, but this was on short notice, up a weight class for the former champion. So not that it was a great situation for him overall. So for me in this spot here, I got to take that plus money. I have to jump on that. Robert Whittaker plus 215. I actually think this line may get wider. I think people are just going to be hammering Chimaev, and I do think we may even get a little bit better number on Robert Whittaker. But plus 215, count me in for Bobby Knuckles. And the next one here we're going to be talking about is going to be Abus Magomedov versus Brunno Ferreira. And you got Abus minus 140, the comeback on Brunno plus 115. Now, both these guys can be reckless and have shit cardio. But with that being said, you got to look at the styles here. And when you've got Brunno, who's a guy who's going to bulldoze forward, who's going to be an absolute savage in the beginning for the first round, 100% finish rate, 12 victories, 10 are in the first round, 2 in the second round. But the one thing that I really look at when you're breaking this down is, he definitely has an issue when it comes to cardio. It's another cardio concern here when you're looking at it. And even fights where he's won, cardio starts to tilt off extremely early when you're looking at it. When he fought Dustin Stoltzfus, that was a fight where Stoltzfus was finding success early and then, ended up, Brunno grabbing that kill shot. Even against RoboCop having success, and then he ended up having the kill shot. So the great equalizer, of course, Brunno Ferreira can find the big shot, land it, and get that victory. But either way, I do think that Magomedov is going to find success with the level changes. I think that Brunno can be reckless coming in. I think he's going to be heavy with the boxing, pushing forward, throwing big shots. And that, to me, is a perfect landscape for somebody to look for level changes, look for takedowns. I don't think he's going to want to, Abus is going to want to, stand, bang, start throwing big, heavy shots with Brunno. I think he knows that's going to be Brunno's game. Brunno does have some wrestling, but I think he's going to struggle with that because he also has shit cardio. They both do, but I think that Magomedov has better cardio than him overall. And then also even on the striking side of things, if this is going to, plays out, on the feet for a little while, you've got a 6-inch reach advantage for Magomedov, 3-inch height advantage. Both these guys can be hittable, but I still think if he throws out the jab and mixes in some of those takedowns, that inside that 6-inch reach advantage for Magomedov, I think Brunno's going to struggle cutting that distance, cutting inside, finding opportunities to land. And I think that really opens up opportunities for Magomedov here. So in this spot here, I think the better kickboxer and having an opportunity to wrestle here for Magomedov is the spot here. I'm hoping this line gets a little bit better when you're looking at it here, but minus 140, I like Abus in this spot. And the last one here we're going to be talking about is going to be Shara Magomedov versus Armen Petrosyan here. You got Shara, he's minus 155. The comeback here on Armen is plus 136. Now, this line opened up around minus 250 on the Shara side, and money has consistently come in on Armen from the beginning. It's still coming in. I bet, by the time this comes out, it's probably going to be even lower, but it looks like there's steady money that's going to be coming in on him here. And I get it. You got two guys who are predominantly strikers here, and you got Shara, who in certain spots, even when he's won out, he's 14-0, but even when he's won, he's looked kind of unimpressive and lackluster in certain spots, but still coming out with victories here. And where you obviously think that there's opportunity here for Armen is going to be maybe takedowns. And now I don't think he's going to turn into Khabib and look for takedowns, all fight and sell out and just do that. I don't think he's going to do that, but I think he has to mix them in. He has to change the pace a little bit, get Shara worrying about certain things. And I think that he can open up spots. But the other part of it is that Shara really likes space. He wants to utilize his kickboxing. He wants to utilize those kicks. And really it's for what he wants is a slow paced kind of kickboxing range kind of game. And guys that have bull rush forward and thrown have found success against Shara, even though they've lost, but they're much lower level guys. I mean, Armen, is a higher level than these guys that he has beat. But I think that Armen brings the volume, brings the pressure, and can mix that in with some takedowns. I think really can make things very difficult for Shara in this spot. And I think this, you got to smother the kicker. That's going to be a spot where Armen mostly is going to box when he's in close, and you don't have somebody like Shara who a lot of times when he's in close will throw a head kick. He's so comfortable throwing these head kicks, although they're snapping and they're fast. I do think that it does leave openings for Armen for maybe a takedown, but at least the pressure and to really put it on him here. Now, the hometown cooking could be in effect here for Shara because any close round could probably go to him. But what I do like here, I like Armen Petrosyan here at that plus money. I agree with the line movement, and I think it does make sense. Plus money is good money, and I think I'm taking it for that spot there. So Armen Petrosyan is going to be the play. So there you have it for UFC 308 this Saturday. If you want to become a client, link down in the description. Don't forget, like the video. And we're 12-0 on 5% plays. 12-0. We're about to be 13-0. So get involved and let's cash.